Some moms go from pumping 1 or 2 ounces to 3 to 4 ounces almost overnight. Have you ever seen that online? I quadrupled my milk supply, or it shot up. It honestly has nothing to do with their milk supply. And if your output feels low, inconsistent, or like you're just sitting there forever waiting for milk, this video might actually help explain what's going on in all of these cases. In this video, we're going to talk about the importance of letdowns and how they're connected to every other aspect of pumping. Before we get into it, if you are trying to make pumping more efficient and more predictable, we do have a lot of free resources here on the YouTube channel for you, so I encourage you to subscribe and check around. But if you're feeling burnout or just ready for a streamlined step-by-step process, so you don't have to piece everything together and try and figure this out on your own, which can take a long time. If you want to be able to pump more milk in less time and control your milk supply, there's a link down in the description for you for our pumping efficiently system. It's linked down below. I have worked with hundreds of moms who thought something was wrong with their supply, when in reality the milk was there, they just weren't able to get it out. And this is something that I see very, very frequently. Low output can look like a lot of different things. Sometimes it's lower output than you expect or than you need. Sometimes it's outputs that are all over the place, very inconsistent, right? One session's decent, the next session nothing, and it's unpredictable. Sometimes you are getting the milk that you need, but it's taking you 30, 40, 50 minutes to fully empty the breast and just feel like you hit the numbers that you need. And sometimes it's really low, like half an ounce or less. And if any of those things are happening, you are definitely in the right place here. Because what I usually see moms jump to next is start trying everything. Random hacks, all the things. Power pumping, supplements, adding in more sessions, buying a different pump, switching between pumps, trying to find which one is better and has more suction, which we're actually doing another video on the whole suction thing right after this. But usually none of those things fix the problem, and not very many of them are sustainable long term. So here's the first thing I want you to understand, okay? Low output doesn't always mean low supply. And I want you to sit with that for a second, because milk doesn't just come out because you're pumping. Milk comes out when you trigger a letdown. That's the mechanism. Your body can have milk sitting there, and if the milk ejection reflex, or letdowns as we like to call them, doesn't happen, you're not going to see it. It's going to stay sitting there. You can't just suck milk out. I had a client actually who was getting less than half an ounce per session, and she was convinced that her supply was gone. She just wasn't able to make enough milk. Pumps just didn't work for her. But when we looked closer, she actually wasn't getting letdowns at all during those sessions. And as soon as that changed, her output immediately jumped up. Not because her supply changed overnight, but because she finally accessed the milk that was already sitting there. And this is where it gets really important, because most moms are only getting one letdown a pumping session. And when that first one slows down, it can feel like you're done. It can look like there's no more milk there, but you're not done. Studies show that about 50 to 70% of your milk comes out in that first milk ejection, which means if you're only getting one while you're pumping, you could be leaving behind 30 to 50% of your milk. So that means if you're only getting one letdown, I can almost guarantee that you are not empty. There is still milk there. And no matter how long you sit at the pump, if you're just going to sit there for your whole 30 minutes and the second half of your session, milk's not flowing, or you just stop at the 10 to 15 minute mark because the milk stopped, that is what's hurting your supply. And again, I've seen this show up in a lot of different ways. I worked with a mom once who was getting multiple letdowns. She was hitting her numbers, her milk numbers that she needed, but it was taking her 40 to 45 minutes every time she sat down to pump. She was kind of just waiting for the letdowns to happen. She was changing her settings around, like, the common recommendations, but it just took forever. Talk about letting the pump control you, not the other way around. A pump can't think though, so it's just doing what you tell it to. You've got two different things going on here. You've got the pump and how it works, and then you've also got your body and how it works. How do we make those come together in a way that works for you is really the secret. And once she learned how to trigger letdowns more intentionally, both by utilizing the pump and all the aspects there and her own body, she got the same output in half the time. Okay, so she could get her 4 to 5 ounces that she needed in 20 minutes instead of 40. This isn't a time problem, it's a letdown problem. And this is where pumping is very different from feeding at the breast. With a baby, letdowns are much more automatic. The baby controls these without even thinking about it. It's just biology. With a pump, that's not happening. You control this. Letdowns are something your body has to learn to do with a pump, and you're the one to teach it and tell it how to happen. Letdowns are a trained reflex, and this is also why random tips don't always work, because letdowns aren't just one thing that you fix. I actually did do another video years ago on this, on tips for getting letdowns, and all of those tips still apply. I'll even link that video down below for you if you want. But what I've learned over the years of working with thousands of pumping moms at this point is that letdowns are heavily connected to every other aspect of pumping. We teach pumping efficiently in a pyramid style methodology, and letdowns are a major step in that process because it is how the milk comes out. You have to remove milk from your breast to make more milk and keep up and control your supply. So letdowns are really, really crucial, but they are affected by every other aspect of the pyramid, all right? Your schedule, your flange size, your pump settings, your pump techniques, and your stress and hormones. If any one of these are off, letdowns get harder. And that's when you start to see things like inconsistent output or really long pumping sessions or feeling like one pump works better than the other. And I see this a lot with moms too who are switching between pumps. They'll get different results from one versus another and assume that it's because one pump is better. Usually because the pump has more suction is what I hear. But a lot of the time, it's not actually the pump. It's how your body responds to the pump's cycles and suction patterns. And a lot of pumps are different. That trained letdown reflex is responding differently. And let's use one of the steps of the pumping pyramid as an example. Flange sizing is a great one. This can play a huge role here in getting good letdowns too. If the fit is off, it's not stimulating the right areas of the breast and nipple, and it can make it much harder to trigger consistent letdowns. Stress and hormones is the top of our period that we teach. That's another area that can make letdowns really, really challenging. The letdown reflex is a hormonal response. So if you've got some underlying things in your way, letdown, you're pushing a rock up a hill. Letdowns are harder, right? No amount of switching between settings or deep breathing is really going to save you here. And it's not always obvious where the real bottom of the barrel issue is until you can walk through each step individually. So when you're seeing low output, inconsistent output, long sessions, or different results between pumps, a lot of the time we're actually looking at a letdown issue. And this is the part, again, that's really important. I think I've said that multiple times in this video. This whole thing is so important. Is the one thing I do want you to take away here is knowing that you need multiple letdowns in a pumping session, okay? It's not always the same as being able to get them, but I want you to walk away with that one letdown is not enough, because this isn't just about switching back and forth between stimulation mode or expression mode or deep breathing or whatever. It's about understanding how your body responds to what you're telling your pump to do, and then building a system around that that actually works for you. There is a lot of free information here on the channel, and we've been making videos on pumping for a really long time. And now you know one of the most important pieces. You need more than one letdown for a pumping session. But if you're still struggling to make that happen, or it feels slow, inconsistent, or unpredictable, or you're just ready for a step-by-step process, because this is where most moms get stuck. That's really where our pumping efficiently system, our step-by-step system that's built for your body, can make a huge difference. So again, it's in the description for you. Me and my team are in there as well, ready to help you. I'm really curious though, how long are your pumping sessions right now? If you want to leave me a comment and tell me, I would love to know. And if you want to keep going on this train of thought, I will put another video up here for you to watch next to help you kind of start connecting the rest of the pieces. All right, good luck getting multiple letdowns. We're here to help if you need. Happy pumping.